Hey there, and welcome. Today, we are diving deep, right down to the molecular level, to get to know the tiny ingredients that build, well, pretty much everything that makes you, you.
So to kick things off, let me ask you something. Think about a sizzling steak, a handful of soybeans, and, the actual muscles in your arm. They seem totally different, right? Completely different. But what if I told you they all share a fundamental secret?
And boom, here it is. Turns out they're all built from the exact same set of 20 tiny molecular Legos. It's kind of wild when you think about it, that all the incredible variety of life is built from such a small, standardized kit.
All right, so let's properly meet these building blocks. In this first part, we're going to introduce the amazing amino acids.
So, what are these things exactly? Well, amino acids are organic compounds. They're made of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen. But what's really crucial is their job. They are the fundamental building blocks of every single protein. Think of it like this. If your body is a skyscraper, proteins are the steel beams and girders, and amino acids, they're the nuts and bolts holding the whole thing together.
Okay, now this is where things get really interesting. Your body is an amazing little chemical factory, right? It can actually make about half of the amino acids it needs. But there are 9 of them, the so-called essential ones, that it just can't make. It doesn't have the right equipment. That means we absolutely have to get them from the food we eat. Without them, your body's whole construction project just grinds to a halt. We're talking muscle repair stopping, your immune system getting weak, the entire project of you just can't continue.
So we know what they do, but what do they actually look like? For our next section, let's pop the hood and take a peek at one of these building blocks.
Check this out. This is the basic blueprint for every single one of those 20 amino acids. They all have the same core structure. The only thing that's different from one to the next is that little part labeled R group. That one tiny variable section is responsible for all their different jobs and personalities.
So let's break that down real quick. The blueprint has 4 parts. You've got the amino group, which is basic, and you've got the carboxyl group, which is acidic. Put them together and you get amino acids, see? The name literally says it all. Then there's a simple hydrogen atom just hanging out, and finally, the star of the show, the R group. This is the part that changes, creating 20 unique Legos for our body to build absolutely everything with.
So they've got this chemical personality, but what about their physical side? This next part might actually surprise you, because we're going to talk about taste and touch at a molecular level.
It's a weird question, isn't it? These things are impossibly small. Can we really taste a single type of molecule? Can our tongues actually pick that up?
Well, the answer is a definite yes. And this is so cool because it just shows how specific our biology is. As you can see here, some amino acids like glycine and alanine actually taste sweet to us. A couple of others are bitter, and the rest, pretty much tasteless. So next time you eat something sweet, just remember, you might literally be tasting one of life's building blocks.
And here's a perfect real-world example I know you've heard of. MSG, that super savory, rich umami flavor you get in a lot of foods, that comes from monosodium glutamate, which is just the salt form of one specific amino acid. It's not some crazy synthetic chemical, it's literally the taste of one of these fundamental building blocks.
And their physical properties don't even stop at taste. In their pure form, they're colorless, crystalline solids, and they are tough. They have super high melting points. We're talking over 200 degrees Celsius. That's nearly 400 degrees Fahrenheit, way hotter than your oven can even get.
All right, for our last section, let's dig into one final fascinating chemical property. We're calling this one the two-faced molecule, and you're about to see exactly why.
So the sciencey term is amphoteric. It sounds complicated, but all it really means is that the molecule has a dual personality. Remember that acidic group and that basic group we talked about? Well, having both means an amino acid can act like an acid or a base. It all depends on the situation it finds itself in. It's like a little chemical chameleon. And this slide right here shows that personality in action. If you drop an amino acid into an acidic solution, it acts as a base and gets a positive charge. But in a neutral solution, something really cool happens. It becomes what's called a Zwitter ion. Just think of it like a tiny magnet. It has a positive end and a negative end at the same time, which makes its overall charge perfectly balanced, perfectly neutral. This ability to switch its face is absolutely critical for how proteins do their jobs in our bodies.
So after all that chemistry, after all that talk about taste and structure, we come back to this. One simple, elegant number, 20.
Just 20 of these versatile, two-faced, sometimes sweet-tasting building blocks are responsible for creating the millions upon millions of different proteins that build everything from a tiny microbe to a giant blue whale.
And that kind of leaves us with one last thought, doesn't it? If all of this incredible complexity can come from just 20 simple blocks, what other amazing, powerful secrets are hiding in plain sight right inside nature's blueprints? Something to chew on. Thanks for tuning in.